Yo, 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 what is up, guys? Paps here, back with another video. And today I wanted to go over something that I haven't talked about in a long time. I made a video on it forever ago, probably like almost 2 years ago now. And I just want to talk about what I think is the best way to warm up, slash what I do to warm up. And I don't want to drag it on too long, so let's get right into it. So first of all, I will go into free play, and something that I do that it's obviously in my head placebo, but every once in a while when I go into free play, I'll change the free play map just to give me like a different I don't know, surrounding, different atmosphere, I guess, in a way. I just like to keep it fresh and yada yada yada, whatever. It's just placebo, but you know, whatever. It's something I do. And then I'll go into free play for like 30 seconds or a minute, and I'll just like flip around, try to get like a feel for my car, because obviously if I haven't been on all day, I'll, don't want to just not touch my controller. So I'll get in, whatever, half flip a couple times, get in here, I just vibe for a little bit, chill, hit the ball a couple times, yada yada yada. And then, since I'm on PC, I'll give a console version after this. But if I'm on PC, whatever, I go to workshop, I go to speed, jump, ranks 3, which is my favorite map, or one of my favorite workshop maps. And I'll just go through, and it depends how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll go through using arrow left, sometimes I'll go through using arrow, and I won't go through the whole thing. I won't bore you guys with the entire run through, even though it's pretty short. And if I'm not going for time or speed, I'll just really go through. I'm going to just keep spinning my car, just really try to find my control, try to find my feet. I'm going to make mistakes here and there like that, obviously, but get those mistakes out of the way, get those micro adjustments out of the way, find your footing, find your control, use this time to warm up your aerial car control. And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just spinning, really getting a feel, not trying to go too fast, not trying to go too slow, whatever. It's all good if I mess up. I'm just trying to get in there. And sorry, sometimes I stop talking when I focus, but I'm just trying to get in there and just spin my car around, get my head in the game, you know what I'm saying? After 2 minutes pass, I'll get out of this. But when I am playing and warming up legit, I do go through an entire run through the map. Sometimes even 2 run throughs, honestly. I'll go through once with arrow left, once with arrow. And yeah, I'm still getting used to arrow on square, so that's why it's so important for me to use arrow when I go through a map like this. I'm 22 days into my new binds, 22 days into using arrow left mainly, and I feel good. I feel good. I feel mechanically solid, mechanically consistent, and it's all about getting comfortable with the binds now, which after 30 days I should be good. But okay, so pretend I went through the whole map, yada yada yada. I warmed up. So at this point, it's been about 5 minutes. I sat in free play for a minute. I did that map for about 4 or 5 minutes, whatever, how long it takes me to go through it. And I'm feeling a bit better now, feeling a bit more warmed up. And now I want to take the next 5 to 10 minutes, and I like to sit in free play, and I like to practice a mechanic that I'm not good at, that I want to get better at. And for a period of time, it was breezy flicks. For a period of time, it was backwards musty flicks, whatever you want to call it, just doing this and just flipping it up. For a period of time, it was ceiling shot musties. But now I'm doing double flip resets. So I'm just trying to practice whatever it's called, rapid reset. I don't know exactly what the term is for it, but I'll hop in a free play and I'm just going to keep going up the wall and practice getting 1 flip, trying to get 2 flips, yada yada yada, whatever. And I'll sit there and I'll practice that mechanic for at least 5 to 10 minutes just to get my, I don't know, get a sense for my mechanical control, And when you're working on mechanics, you're working on more than just that singular mechanic. Because even though, yes, I'm practicing double flip resets, and I'm going to get better at double flip resets with time, I'm also practicing, learning what I can do with my first flip, practicing maneuvering my car in the air, practicing my overall control, practicing my off the wall dismount for an air dribble or flip reset or whatever. So, you're working on more than a singular thing. That's why I think it's good to work on more advanced mechanics here and there, because you're working on more than that just one mechanic. And again, if you're going to do this, I would suggest practicing breezy flicks. I would suggest practicing double flip resets, sealing musties. Try to go for advanced mechanics. Don't do like, I will actually, if you're a beginning player, going for like a simple air dribble could be a good thing to do if you're not good with it, or a simple ceiling shot. But if you're already comfortable with those mechanics, I would say go for something that takes you out of your comfort zone. Just practice it for 5, 10, even 15 minutes for just for a way to warm up, and I don't know, sometimes get your brain thinking, get your creative juices flowing. So once I've done that, so now about 15-20 minutes has passed. I try to warm up for at least like 30 minutes usually before I hop into games, and I think that's the best way to go into a game, feeling good and not feeling slow and rusty like when you first get on. Anyways, so once I've done that, and I practiced some mechanics, I practiced some air control, I've just got my bearings, I will then go into slow-mo for a bit. This is not too long. For the next 5-ish minutes maybe, I will practice some stuff like wave dashes and chain dashes, and just working on little things with my car that I can see better in slow-mo. Like, okay, when I do this, my car goes this way. Because sometimes those little adjustments and just little things your car does at full speed is hard to notice. But in slow-mo, it's kind of easy to tell, because obviously it's a lot slower, what you're doing wrong with a certain thing. Like maybe on your chain dashes, when you're chain dashing like this, maybe you're pressing A too quickly here and you're not able to follow up your next dash. Or maybe on your air dribbles, say you go for an air dribble, maybe on your air dribbles you notice, when I'm dismounting, I'm not air rolling fast enough and I'm letting the ball get behind me. Something like that. I feel like slow-mo is a really good way to do that. Mental processing of a lot of different mechanics. But make sure once you've sat in slow-mo for like 5-ish minutes, whatever, make sure you go back into free play, because it's going to feel weird. Make sure you're in free play for another, couple minutes just to get normal game speed down, because yes, you're going to feel faster with slow-mo, and that's a good and a bad thing, because you will misjudge a lot of reads or a lot of balls, and fuck up some things you would normally mess up if you were not using slow-mo. And lastly, actually, let me go over something to do. If you're on console and you want to practice aerial control, just go to this map. Go to pillars, and then just fly around and vibe. Actually, that's kind of it. So to summarize, sit in free play for a minute, go to Speed Rings 3 or Pillars if you're on console, and just fly around for 5-ish minutes. Then sit in free play, practice a new mechanic or something you're not comfortable with for 5, 10, 15 minutes. Then sit in slow-mo for like 5-ish minutes, and then sit in free play again for 5 more minutes. And about 25, 30 minutes should have passed by then, and you will definitely be warmed up and ready to go to kick some Champ 2 ass and ranked. And that is something I do almost every single time I get on. And again, by no means am I the best player in the world, but I would say I'm like a 17, 1800, 1900 player. Usually I peaked at 1900 last season, but this season I've been around 1700, 1800 the whole time. I haven't really grinded ranked that hard, but I think that's fair to say. I'm a pretty high GC, and I like to think that I have a good grasp on the game after the amount of hours and stuff I put in. So yeah, take my advice with a grain of salt, but that's just what I do and what I think is probably the best way to go about getting on Rocket League. Anyways, if this helps you or you enjoyed it in any way, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you want for more Rocket League tips, tricks, gameplay, and all that stuff. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.